Well, howdy ho, my peeps. Welcome to yet another essay about my childhood. My dad and the First Ammendment. When I was 12 years old, humping shingles up on the shed roof at 7 a.m., complete with slivers the size of tree trunks and the occasional black widow to keep me company, my dad bitched at me for complaining that I hadn't finished my Saturday morning breakfast. My eggs congealed on a plate in the fridge because Dad was on a mission to finish the job. Earlier that summer, he'd nicknamed me Moose when he realized how much cement I could push in a wheelbarrow while he laid sidewalks around our new house, which stood raw and blank in the center of a long rectangular patch of permanent pasture. The Sierra Nevada mountains rose majestically in the east, and twice a day we heard the whistle of the freight train 2 football field lengths away. You can barely see those mountains now from the spot where Dad's dream house once stood. So many buildings have gone up in that direction, and the tracks were torn up decades ago. A bougie bike and hiking trail runs along the former Southern Pacific Track right-of-way, where athletic stay-at-home moms run behind snazzy bike strollers now, and seemingly happy families stroll with their something doodles. But in 1972, it was still on the untamed northern border of our Midland-sized Central California city. Rugged and rural, post and barbed wire fences stretched for miles, containing small herds of cattle and dotted with dusty old farmhouses. The cattle and houses are gone now, and a sea of unaffordable retail and even less affordable houses now sloshes over the former farmland. Dad lived long enough to see the gas station go up on the corner 3 doors down, a sizable strip center sprout down the street, and a patchwork of overpriced tract homes hopscotch steadily toward the foothills. I'm glad he didn't live long enough to see the changes that would have rendered his world nearly unrecognizable. No COVID fears, disruptive political upheaval, or unfathomable breakdown of society marred his view. He didn't lose sleep over AI, Bitcoin, or tears in the fabric of the country he grew up in being proud of, joined the Army for, and understood. He never lived to see public schools maligned nor teaching, his chosen profession, denigrated, disrespected, marginalized. He saw teaching as a calling, a trust, and he did it brilliantly, as did my mother. After they died, I found letters from former students. "You saved my life when you taught me to read," written by a migrant parent whose child was in Mom's class one year. So many of Mom's kids were dirt poor, English illiterate, and struggling. She'd drop by a tiny, tidy house for an hour after school and offer whatever tutoring help she could. Dad often received thank you letters from former pupils who credited him with exciting their interest in math or physical science and steering them in the direction of engineering, science careers, or even becoming teachers as he had. Over the years, they contributed thousands of dollars towards extras for their classrooms without reimbursement. They did it happily. Their reward was the joy of watching kids arrive at that blessed aha moment while deciphering a thorny math problem or spelling a difficult word aloud in class. The satisfaction of knowing they successfully concluded another school year was worth all the pencils and art supplies they'd invested in. My parents were eager for the rest that summer would bring, but their eyes were always looking forward to September, when a new group filled the desks. After a lifetime of working for Midland pay, they both retired with the respect talented public school teachers earned in those days. It wasn't that they disregarded private schools. I was a private school student myself for 9 of my 12 years of pre-collegiate education. Rather, they believed that without a backbone of robust public education, our society would collapse, Furthermore, the idea of using taxpayer money to help fund private education, religious or otherwise, would have horrified them both. And Mama was a Southern Baptist. They would have said it threatened the level playing field that was the right of all American kids. Private schools are for those who can afford them. Supplying them with government funds would dilute the ability of public education to supply an equal experience among all students. What about the separation of church and state, they'd ask, knowing that this was a basic tenet of our founding documents. Thomas Jefferson, arguably one of the most founding of the founding fathers, wrote about the necessary wall of separation between church and state, and underscored that this wall was enshrined in the Bill of Rights through the First Amendment. My parents didn't see these documents as weak contracts, simply words subject to renegotiation. Their identity, their self-worth, their very souls were branded by what it means, or maybe what it meant, to be an American. So, as much as I miss them, I'm glad they're gone and unable to be confused or scared or hurt by what is happening in our country and the world at large. They lived through the Great Depression, World War II, and the Cold War. They saw our republic and the ideals of democracy it was founded on threatened again and again over their long lives. And they remembered.